G'day, cunts! Welcome to episode I didn't fucking check of the Greencast. I'm gonna take a wild step in the dark and say 28, I think. Yeah, it's a podcast by me, Mr. Greentext, where I ramble to myself in my bedroom like a fucking madman. Yeah, oops, missed 2 weeks. But literally about 2 people cared, so I don't really fucking know. There's a couple people that complained, and to them I say, it's free. I don't care. So I don't understand about people just being like, hey, there's no upload today. Where's my scheduled free content? It's like, cunt, it's free. And I'm literally reading a green text. You're really complaining that a green text reading a video that's like anywhere between a minute to like 10 to 15 minutes is not up for a day? Go fuck yourself. Yeah, there's been a lot of days where I've missed, and that's mostly just because, one, I'm just going through a fucking phase where I'm just really demotivated making content right now. As well as I'm working on editing a hour-long film at the moment, and I've definitely heard other people talk about the same sort of issue that I'm facing, where it's like, you go through your main job doing one thing. So, for example, you go through your main job of editing a film, and then immediately, just like in your downtime, you edit other stuff. And it's just like, that's all you're really fucking doing. So it's kind of just like, really fucking demotivating. Just like, oh cool, alright, I'm done editing for that for today. Oh, but now I gotta fucking edit all this shit. It's just really demotivating for me. So, stuff has been going out. I do have a shit post going out Sunday morning too. Don't know when that is any other person's time. I really can't be fucked converting anything. 3 a.m. plus 10 UTSC, I think, is my time zone that I upload on. I don't know, it's fucking scheduled for bloody Americans, because that's when everyone's half my audience, or well over half my audience is, so yeah, it's scheduled for that shit. So there'll be a shit post on there. It's one of the shittest shit posts I've done, so people will probably, hopefully, eat it up in every sense of that word and phrase. But, yeah. I don't know, I've got ideas in my head of other content to do, but it's like, I want to do an actual budget and pay people, and I don't know if I make my money back on some of this stuff. But yeah, I do have stuff. I've got like 8 videos in the bank that I need to edit, so it'll be good for like the next at least week and a bit, a week or 2 weeks maybe. But yeah, it's just like getting around to doing it. Podcast, I also was just pretty demotivated to do it, and I'm like, oh fuck, I had an hour to just ramble to myself, and I just like, I forgot to write down, because I have a whiteboard in my room, which I think I've talked about it before. If you ever want to be fucking productive in anything you do, whether it's you're doing study or you work from home or whatever the fuck, literally just a thing to write notes to yourself. It's fucking great. I have a section on my whiteboard where I write down podcast topics to talk about, and I just forgot for an entire week. And it even got to the end of the week, and I'm like, I don't know what to fucking talk about. Because all I did was, like, work on the film and then, like, play Assassin's Creed Odyssey in the downtime in between. But, yeah, I guess that's the fucking transition that I'll go into it. I'm fucking 25 hours deep in Assassin's Creed Odyssey at this point, and I'm really fucking enjoying it. There's been a lot of people that's been trying to boycott Assassin's Creed. There's some people that have been saying this is the best in the series. There's some that's saying there's no actual assassins in it, so therefore, fuck you. I'm not playing this game. Hashtag bring back Assassin's Creed. Just give us fucking Japan, which I'm sure it's a pretty safe bet that I'm gonna say Japan's gonna be the next fucking one, because I don't particularly know where you're gonna go from here. But I'm really fucking enjoying it. And in place of the assassins, it expands a lot more on the first civilization, which is one of the aspects that I've really fucking enjoy, and like always look for more information and try and read some of the extra stuff about the first civilization, because it fascinates me and everything. And there's a lot more stuff in here. It's a lot more focused on that. Because, I mean, the assassins didn't exist for another, like, fucking 500 years or whatever the fuck it was. But yeah, it definitely feels like it was either made by, like, fans, or they took a lot of fans' opinions and suggestions for the series as well. Because there's literally stuff like, I can purchase a perk, and when I say purchase, I don't mean microtransactions. I'll talk about that in a bit. But there's a perk that you can get in Odyssey where you can literally just, like, get rid of fall damage. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And I forgot that I bought it, and I jumped off a ledge by accident, like you do at least 10 times in every Assassin's Creed game. And then my dude just did, like, a somersault and landed on the ground, and no fall damage happened. And I'm like, what the fuck? How am I not dead? And then I double-checked my little skill tree, and apparently I'd bought a fucking perk that just gets rid of fall damage. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hell yeah. And there's just, like, you know, just perks and just simple stuff like that is really fucking nice addition, where, you know, it's obviously that they've taken into consideration, or people have been constantly saying, they're just like, I want to go, or like, you know when you're on top of a synchronization point, and you want to fucking leap of faith off it and do a flip, and then you miss the fucking haystack, or you just, like, your character just jumps off and doesn't do it, and it's like, I'm dead now. And that's always fucking fun. But yeah, with that perk, you just do a somersault and just land on the ground and do, like, a commando roll, I want to say. Yeah, you do, like, a commando roll, and yeah, just nothing happens to you. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. But yeah, it's also just one of, like, my favorite times I think Assassin's Creed has gone to before. Even though, I mean, again, there isn't no assassins per se. But the game overall, I think, feels a lot fucking like Witcher 3. And when I thought about it as well, a lot of the fucking plot is awfully similar. There's a lot of the game that's similar to Witcher 3. Sort of story spoilers, I guess, but a couple of the main story points in Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that you're looking for your mother. And what's the main plot point in Witcher 3? You're looking for Ciri. And it's just, like, looking for family and whatnot, and just stuff like that. And I'm like, that seems familiar. And, you know, dumb fucking horse physics. In Odyssey, you're what's called a Mystios, which is a mercenary. You know, mercenary for hire, just going around doing stuff. That's pretty much exactly what a fucking Witcher is. A guy who, like, does stuff for money and hunts monsters and whatnot. Yeah, when you break it down, there's an awful lot fucking similar. Which I'm not criticizing. Witcher 3 is a fucking great game. And if you're gonna rip any sort of game or free roam game RPG, rip off Witcher 3, because it's one of, if not the best, to rip off, or just games in general. I think it's pretty safe to say that Witcher 3 is probably my favorite game that I've played. Or at least top 3. I don't know, it's always hard to, like, you know when people are just like, hey, what's your favorite film? And it's like, I don't fucking know. I can list off 5 films that I really fucking enjoy, but I don't know if I could definitively say this is the best film that I've ever seen in my life. It's probably like exactly like that with a video game. Just like, I mean, yeah, Witcher 3 comes to mind, but I don't know if it's literally the best game that I've ever played before. It's the same thing with film. Probably the best film that immediately comes to mind is Blade Runner 2049, but I don't know if it's the best film I've ever fucking seen. I don't know. Oh, I fucking watched the first episode of Titans as well, by the way. Obviously, if you don't know somehow, Titans is the live-action Teen Titans show that DC's doing with their live-action stuff, and it's also on their DC streaming service. But it's not actually, in a fucking plot twist, a week before the fucking show came out. Titans is basically available to stream on Netflix everywhere in the world except the US. It is exclusively on the fucking streaming service, which is hilarious. So, I mean, like, I wasn't gonna fucking buy it anyway. And I mean, I watched a totally legal version on not Netflix, on a place that rhymes with Kyrit K. Yeah. Oh, I fucking completely forgot to fucking mention it at the start of this podcast to try and hook people in. But whatever, I only want fans to have this anyway. I actually have a code for South Park: The Stick of Truth. And basically what I'm going to do is that at some random point in this podcast, I am going to read out the code. It's for Stick of Truth on PC. I think you actually have to be Australian as well. Fucking rip. Oh, man. It's got an Australian flag on the back. I think it might only be Australians thinking, that's hilarious. R18. Oh, I think this is probably the censored version too. Oh, well, fucking rip. Oh, well, so if there's any Australians listening, be sure to be on the fucking lookout, I guess. Because you might get a code. Yeah, that's hilarious. I thought it was like a universal code. Obviously not. Yeah, basically I got a copy of it when I bought the latest South Park game, and I already own the last one, and I don't want it. I don't know what to do with it. So I'm like, I will do a giveaway. So yeah, keep an ear out, fellow Australians, and you might get a fucking game code. But yeah, Titans. Wow, I was fucking off track for a bit. Yeah, Titans. Yeah, it's that one thing that everyone's getting triggered by because Starfire looks like a fucking prostitute. And you know why? Because she is. Yeah, so I've watched the first episode. Obviously the first thing you're going to compare it to is all the CW shows, which they're one of my guilty pleasures. It's a lot better than the CW shows, I'll put it like that. There's obviously a bigger budget, but it's still a TV budget, so some of the effects are a little rough. Mostly Starfire's fire effects, which, why does she have fire? She just has like energy blasts, usually. They've changed that up. Also, I don't know, Raven's powers are nowhere near as bad as they were in the fucking trailer. In the trailers, it looks like someone just looked up a fucking After Effects tutorial and just did it in like 20 minutes. This is a lot more refined, thankfully, and I mean, you'd expect it to be. But also Beast Boy's effects is something to be desired, something to be left to be desired as well. But I mean, then again, what can you expect with a fucking TV budget like this? But, I mean, it's kind of hard to also judge a TV show by its pilot first episode, I guess. So, I don't know, I'll report a couple weeks later, after I've watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and tell you how I feel about the show. It's also kind of weird because there's a Rotten Tomatoes score that's based on three episodes, which I don't know how you can fucking do that. And I think last time I looked at it, it was on like 70%, which is a lot higher than everyone thought it was going to be, because everyone was fucking, having a go at it. Mostly for like Starfire and the fuck Batman scene. Which, in the trailer, again, fucking, honestly, whoever just fucking cut that trailer should be out of a fucking job, because they did a terrible fucking job trying to market that goddamn series. It looks a lot better, and it looks a lot more promising than the fucking trailer let off, that's for goddamn sure. Yeah, fucking, with that fuck Batman thing, it literally, it makes sense in the context, I guess, because in the scene, Robin actually finally goes out for the first time in like 3 or 4 years, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking bash this child rapist or whatever the fuck it was, and he jumps down, and then immediately all the guys are just like, it's Robin, and they look around and they're like, fuck, where's Batman? And they like don't even pay attention to him, and so obviously he just beats their fucking shit in. Looks like he killed at least 3 people, which I'm real fucking like, oh, Jesus, what the fuck? And, yeah, after he basically, like, pummels their fucking heads in, then he's like, fuck Batman. And then it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes a bit more sense. Because now it just sounds like, in the trailer, it's just like, where's Batman? And she's like, fuck Batman, and then he kills people. But yeah, it's more so just like, I don't fucking need him. I just destroyed all these fucking cunts. Starfire as well, they also did a weird thing where, I don't know, I mean, again, it's the first episode. What I think is happening is like either one of two things. Starfire, or Corey, whatever the fuck her actual name is, Miss Alien, either the consciousness either took over the body of this weird prostitute, stripper, gang member person, and because the first time you see them is like they wake up in a car crash and with obviously amnesia or something. So it's either like she inhabited her consciousness, or she's been an alien all along and then she just happened to have amnesia and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, again, it's the first fucking episode, so I can't fucking tell. It's one of the two things, but again, in the context, it kind of makes sense that she's a stripper fucking person, but Jesus Christ. Just lose the fur coat for fuck's sake. Like, honestly, it wouldn't even be that bad if she just lost the goddamn fur coat. It'd be so much less fucking strippery. What else did I fucking do this week? Oh, on Tuesday, I went to a YouTube event in the city as well. Basically, Screen Queensland here put on an event that was aimed at filmmakers and to produce stuff on YouTube. Now, when I agreed to go to this event, because I saw it pop up on my Facebook, someone recommended it to me. They're like, "Hey, you do YouTube, we should go to it." And I'm like, "Oh, fucking here we go." And I'm like, it's either gonna go one or two ways. It's either they're gonna give me information that I particularly already know, one or two things that'll be like, "Oh yeah, good point, I might try that," or they're gonna be spewing out a bunch of bullshit and I'm gonna laugh at them because my channel's I probably had the biggest channel there. I know I had the biggest channel there, to be honest. And yeah, they started off doing. Oh, okay, so I'll talk more about the people. So I got to the event like basically like on time. They made me sign like 2 waivers, because it was like an official event that Screen Queensland went through YouTube and Google, so I had to sign a YouTube waiver and then a Google waiver for marketing purposes. And it was also in a cinema, so I'm like, oh cool, you know, I get to relax for a couple hours while a dude speaks to us. We'll do probably a couple fucking whatever, I was gonna say crowd building exercise, you know, that sort of stuff, interacting with people and networking and whatnot. But instead, apparently this fucking theater folds away into itself, and there was like 8-ish tables with like 6 chairs around it where people would sit, and I was like one of the first people in there, so I went and took like a whole thing to myself. And then people started trickling a bit more, and there was like 3 types of people. There was older people that don't understand how YouTube works and are going there just to see what they can fucking learn. There was younger kids that are like, I want to do YouTube. And then like actual weird filmmaker people that are like, oh yeah, maybe I could have a look at this YouTube thing and see how it goes. And so 2 people sat down at once, and I thought that they were together. It was like dude in his teens, I'm gonna say probably 16, 17 maybe. And then a sort of probably late 20s, maybe early 30s woman sat down too. And I thought it was mother and son, because there was already a couple other like kids that had come with their parents and stuff, because they fucking probably watch Fortnite, and they're like, I want to be a YouTuber. It was also a free event too, but you actually had to book tickets and then go through the checkout as if you were buying tickets. So the event sold out, but it didn't actually cost anything. So, you know, getting the fucking chat and whatnot. And then I slowly come to realize that they're 2 separate people. And then a family of like a mum and a friend, and then two younger girls. There's probably, I think she said one was 10 and the other is 6. And I'm like, what the fuck? Here we go. And getting to fucking talking to them. And they're like, oh, these 2 had just come back from LA. You know, they've got about 70 credits, you know, just acting. And, you know, their agent in LA said that they should try and focus and make some of their own content when they're not doing other stuff. And I'm like, oh, what the fucking... Why are you? What? And she's like, oh, yeah, this 10-year-old, she's writing a web series at the moment. And I'm like, what? What do you mean a fucking 10-year-old's writing a series? And I'm like, whatever. I just played along. I wasn't gonna fucking try and shoot it down, I guess. And it's a comedy series, and I'm like, oh fucking, I don't want to fucking know, dude. And then the obviously they're just like, oh, what do you do? And I had one of two choices here, because it was a YouTube event, but it was also a YouTube filmmakers event. So I could either, one, play off my YouTube channel, reveal Mr. Greentext to people, and just be like, yeah, I do YouTube, I do this thing, I have this many subs, I get this many views, and then wow people that way. But it's also less impressive content. Or I could be like, oh, I'm a fucking film editor and props guy, I've got 3 films going to film festivals next year, I'm currently editing a feature film right now, which is a lot more fucking impressive. So obviously I went with that one, and kind of disregarded the fact that I actually have a YouTube channel at the YouTube event, which was kind of fucking hilarious. And when I mentioned that, I started explaining some of the films that I've worked on, and the one that I'm working on now. They quickly realized that I had much more experience on like film production than any of them there, so they all just started bombarding me with questions of film production. And then the fucking kid across from me started pitching me a fucking film that a short film that he wants to work on, about a dude, and I'll try and quote it the best I can. I have his fucking business card too. I'll get to that in a second. A dude finds an antique camera in a garage sale, but he finds out that when the camera is in focus, he can see ghosts, but it's only when it's in focus. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you can't see anything in the camera, but to put it in focus, then you see the spirits. And I'm like, okay. I'm just like, sure. I just kind of acknowledged it, and I'm like, alright. It's an idea, I guess. I don't know what you're going to do with it. And, yeah, the other woman she's a writer and stuff too, and she wants to, like, learn a little bit more about, like, production and stuff, so answering all her questions and stuff and how that works. And, yeah, once we got acquainted, the fucking thing started. And we had a YouTube trivia fucking thing. It was mostly around, like, YouTube Australia. Which, yeah, it's stuff like, what date, what year was the first YouTube video uploaded? Who's the biggest Australian content creator? Which is hilarious, because it's how to basic. And then, just address, like, and, bring up the fact that fucking shit posting channels like that are like literally the biggest ones. Also, the biggest channel in Queensland, the state that I live in, is actually the Primitive Technology channel. That one guy who's in the middle of fucking nowhere, and just builds furnaces and houses out of mud, and makes bows out of fucking nothing. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And he also, like, name-dropped his fucking actual name, so I could totally stalk him now and kind of just doxed him. So I'm like, oh, fucking okay. And yeah, he was one of the first things we were talking about. And also, it was option 1. Also, when it came to the event, it was mostly just, like, stuff that I already knew and maybe a couple of things in there. One of the first things they were talking about, it's like, oh, if you actually want to be successful on YouTube, you need to find a niche, and then exploit the hell out of that. And I'm like, huh, yes, that is exactly fucking right. That's exactly how I got popular on YouTube. I've talked about it many a time. It's mostly just like, I want to do creepypastas, there's too many people doing creepypastas. It's an oversaturated market. I still want to do YouTube. What can I do? I really enjoy those green text things. I wonder, and I fucking did a bit of a search on YouTube, couldn't particularly find many people doing it, or at least to the capacity that I thought that I could, and I'm like, I'm gonna give that a try, and then, my channel fucking spawned from that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty fucking bang on. And they got through all that sort of stuff, and then they got just more into like the filmmaking sort of side, and just doing workshops and talking about that. But yeah, overall, I don't think it was a total waste of time. It was mostly just like I probably was teaching other people more so than I was getting like taught. But fucking, I got a business card from I actually still have it in my wallet. I'm gonna take it out right now and have another fucking look at it. I got a business card from one of the 10-year-old girls. Apparently she's an actress, vocalist, and model. Okay. And yeah, she gave me a fucking business card that has all of her social medias attached. And I'm like, okay, I'm an editor. I don't know why you're giving it to me. But the other guy, ooh, just you fucking wait. I won't dox the poor cunt, but I'm definitely going on this fucking dude's website and all of his other stuff. Towards the end of the event, when they started talking about like marketing strategies, and hang on, let me bring this closer to my fucking face. Oh, there we go. When they're like, oh yeah, marketing and film festivals and stuff, and I'd obviously already said that I'm already having films going in film festivals. They're like, the guy's like, oh, I fucking hate film festivals. None of my films are going. They're just a bunch of assholes. And I'm like, well, what are the films you're doing? And he's like, oh, and what I'm like, it's like saying like, oh, they're too long. And I'm like, how long is it? And he's like, oh, look, 12 minutes. I'm like, that's pretty standard for short films, dude. And, tried to talk to him about, like, know the short film festival that you want to go for genre films if it's that. Because he said the stuff that he wants to do is, like, horror short films. And he was saying how he's made an 1.5 hour long feature horror film. And I'm like, oh, fucking here we go. Another dude who thinks he can make a fucking Paranormal Activity or a Saw. Which you're not. I'm gonna fucking guarantee you that. So this fucking guy on his... he was also real fucking proud of his, like, After Effects stuff. And he's like, oh, I do a lot of stuff in Premiere and After Effects. Which reminds me a lot of myself at his age. Just dicking around in After Effects and what fucking not. But he showed me this, like, not even a clip. It was a screenshot of I think a music video. And it was just, like, these wacky band members from, like, they were all in these wacky costumes. And, like, he'd obviously just Googled fire and then put that in the background. There's, like, a really bad fire PNG. They just photoshopped it onto, and it looked like something from fucking the early 2000s. And I really tried to fucking hold back the laughter and just had a little bit of a giggle. And his fucking business card, holy shit. It literally has him with the same fucking fire PNG background, dude. And it has the name of it, which also, it is something studios, because again, I won't dox the cunt, but he's chosen a really terrible font, and it looks like studios. The Teagle Mist looks like an R, it's just really badly chosen font. But it has short films, music videos, promo videos. It looks like photography, slideshow. Who puts slideshows on their fucking business card? His fucking mobile number. So he doesn't have a website. But I'm gonna go on his fucking Facebook page right now, and I'm gonna check this shit out. Because I didn't actually see any of his actual content. He said he'd make some other, like, horror short films, and I want to fucking check this out live on the potty. Let's see. This character, what the fuck is playing? Oh, great. Goddamn. I fucking hate Facebook sometimes with this goddamn autoplay thing that they do. Studios. I think I spelled studio wrong. Studios. There we go. What the fuck? Okay, that's what it stands for. Jesus Christ. It's also an abbreviation. Oh! Oh no, dude! His fucking profile picture is a 16:9, which, if you don't know, is widescreen, and he obviously didn't have any other picture for his profile picture, and it's just squished. it's squished, then it does not look fucking good. Alright, fucking... Dude. Okay, so he's done some drone stuff. Give me some fucking videos, dude. I want to look at you shit videos. This guy isn't... What the fuck? So there's nothing fucking on here, dude. What the fuck? Get me... So he was saying, it's like, oh, I've done a music video. I've done this short film. I've done this short film. So, it has his contact name, it has his email, it has his phone number, it has his fucking Facebook page. And his Facebook page has a recording of a dude, just one shot of a dude in a guitar. A title that was obviously done in After Effects in 30 seconds. A thing called Uncle Tony, that's 10 seconds. A thing that says Uncle Tony's Little Trick. A casting thing, extras for a short film that was posted October 2nd last year. There's literally been you haven't uploaded any videos this year! Ah! Fucking... Why am I not getting anywhere? Holy fuck. Dude. Fuck. Literally all the posts that he's done recently have been for holidays. I nearly poked myself in the eye with this fucking card. Ow. His last post was Anzac Day, Australia Day, Easter. What the fuck? Dude. This is why am I not getting anywhere in the industry? Because you're not doing anything. That's why. Even if you're going out and making stuff with your friends, you have a phone, for fuck's sake. Post it somewhere. Let people fucking see it. There's nothing on here. I don't give a fuck, dude. You goddamn little fucking thing. Even I had a fucking YouTube channel that's buried. Fuck. Alright, time for the code reveal for South Park. So again, it's probably for Australian users only. But Americans can try it if they can. So you'll have to put it into Uplay as well, because South Park games are owned by Ubisoft. So input this code into Uplay. Oh yeah, it's all in capitals as well. So 83FT 6D 7K K G G V X G R A. So put that code into Uplay, and you'll get a free copy of South Park: The Stick of Truth. Again, it'll probably only be Australian, because it's got an R18 plus rating on the back. Again, you can try it if you want to, but yeah, so that's that. Burn to that code, don't need it, fucking enjoy it, I guess. But yeah, that was pretty much that event in a nutshell. It was okay. Been playing Pokemon Go. It was a good chance to go back into the city and stock up my balls and catch some stuff, I guess. Speaking of the city, I've been getting ready for the fucking upcoming con. And I don't know if this is really doxing myself, but I guess I'll fucking say it anyway. I'm going to be at Brisbane Supernova. Probably the 3 days. I'm still not sure. It's probably like an extra $10 for an extra day. But I'll be going as Alexios and Cable. My Alexios is actually coming along real fucking well. But in case there's any other people, so I don't get fucking other people going up to other cosplayers of these characters and be like, "Are you Mr. Greencast?" I'll be the Alexios with the big fuck off helmet with the bristles, and I'll be the Cable with the 3D printed arm. So yeah, there's that. Come fucking find me, I guess, at those cons. I mean, I don't fucking know how many people particularly listen to this podcast and also one, listen to this podcast, two, live in Brisbane, and three, are actually going to the convention, but whatever. Fucking, if you find me, come say hey. And I might even fucking give you something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I've actually been experimenting with cable as well. I bought a new file from these guys called Do3D. I've bought a couple files off them before. Real fucking high quality 3D printed files. I highly recommend them. They may seem a bit pricey, but you get what you pay for, to be honest. Which is quality with these guys. And they had a real fucking nice model of the arm from Cable from Deadpool 2. And so I bought it from them, and my plan is, / maybe still is, I want to 3D print it out of flexible filament. So basically, the suppliers that I usually buy my stuff off, 3D Phillies, they have this magical stuff called PLA Plus, which is plastic plus their own sort of mix and blend, I guess is the best way to describe it, for this 3D printing plastic. They came out like a couple months ago, or probably even more recently, with their PLA Plus Flex. So it's their PLA plastic, except it's flexible. And I printed a wrist portion of the cable arm. Actually finished printing this morning. And yeah, it came out real fucking nice, and it's definitely flexible. However, just got to fiddle with the model, and I'm just trying to contact the guys and give them some feedback so I can actually fit my wrist in a bit more. And just like general feedback, because I was the first person to buy that model from them. And they kind of had to scramble when I'm like, I'd like to buy it. And they're like, oh, sorry, the guy who modeled it is not here today, and it's on his laptop. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, dude, you don't have Google Drive or whatever? Okay. But yeah, ideally, I would just print it with normal plastic, and then make silicone molds of that, and then make rubber versions of it, because it'd be a lot more comfortable and have a lot more flexibility. Because I do actually have a replica of Cable's gun from Deadpool 2, the big fuck-off thing. And as much as I'd like to take it, one, it's going to be awkward with the size of the cunt. Two, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it if I have the restrictive arm with the 3D printed stuff. And I don't know how much maneuverability I'm going to have with it on. And that's going to be the whole deciding factor, I guess, whether I'm going to take that gun with me. As much as I'd love to take it, because I put a lot of time and effort into making that gun, I just don't know. I won't know until I've finished the arm, particularly, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else particularly to say. It is getting kind of late here as well. I was doing some stuff today. I had to move some stuff around the house, some big fucking heavy things. And while I was working on the my Alexios costume, which is actually also coming along pretty fucking well. Don't particularly have that much left of it. It's just like other bits and pieces, and you know, it's been fun. I've been building it out of foam and craft foam, and it's coming along a lot fucking better than I thought. I've been picking up a lot of techniques. Oh, I also tried this real fucking new thing to me. On my Lexios costume, on his right bracer, it's like this brown bracer that has a... I don't think embezzled is the right word. Embossed, I don't think is the right word either. It's got like this detail on the top where it's this golden metal eagle that's grabbing a snake, and then there's two snakes on the other side of that. Originally, my plan to do that was to do what I usually do and underpay some cunt on Freelancer to model it for me, and then I was just going to 3D print it and then just heat mold it to my arm. However, I did not get any offers lower than about $60, and I was not going to pay $60 for that small detail. And so instead, what I did was I had some modeler's clay that I bought for, like, in case I want to do 2-part molds. And so I actually cut a bit off of that, and I had one fucking sculpting tool, which I bought. Oh, well, I had like a whole pack of sculpting tools, but I don't know what happened to it when I had one, and it was thankfully the one that I needed. And actually, it came out a lot fucking better than I thought it would when I made the model out of clay. So I made the model out of clay, and then I made a silicon mold out of that, and then I just made resin copies of that. And then, I've got a mold, I can run it however many times I want, and it doesn't particularly use that much resin or silicon at all. And I might even fucking sell that. Who knows? But, yeah, and then I made resin copies of that, painted it big gold, and then just heated up the resin, and then just molded it to my arm, and it looks fucking mint, cunt. Jesus Christ, it's coming along so much better than I thought it would. Compared to one of my first foam costumes that I made was the Armored Batman. And it's fucking rough, dude. I think the fact that this is also, like, a Spartan costume made, like, well over 1,000 years ago, I want to say, I've got a little bit of leeway. It's definitely not some robotic sort of thing that's really symmetrical. I've got a lot of leeway in that it was 1,000 years ago, so it doesn't matter if the rivets aren't perfectly spaced out, or this part here is not symmetrical, and, just shit like that is real fucking handy. But yeah, I suppose it's time to get into the most autistic part of this fucking podcast. And that is, of course, where you cunts can send me any questions, and I'll fucking answer them. So if you want to send any questions, queries, life advice, or any of that sort of shit, you can either email me at mrgreentext@gmail.com, and I'll put the fancy graphic here. Or, alternatively, you can do what most other people do and comment on my community tab post that will go up sometime next week. So I'm actually just using the ones that I put up last week, because obviously I didn't do a fucking podcast last week. So I'll just, nick all the comments from there. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. So the first question I have is from that YouTube channel, and he says, have you ever thought of doing a trade? Even as a hobby, or have you ever done anything like that, like woodworking or other stuff? I do a lot of that sort of stuff with my cosplay stuff and other, prop making. The thought of doing a trade obviously has crossed my mind, but it's not particularly a job that I'd like to particularly go down. Obviously because it's really labor-intensive, and it's obviously high-paying job, but that's because, your body's usually kaput by the age of, 45. But I do have a lot more woodworking tools now that I am getting a bit of money from YouTube and commissions and whatnot. I've just been slowly expanding my workshop of stuff. I got a belt sander. I bought a fucking, what's it called? Not disc. A table saw not too long ago that I cleverly disguised as a Father's Day present. Yeah, I bought one of those as well. But I also have 2 or 3 friends that are also tradies. One of my good mates is a, I don't know what sort of tradie, but one of the cunts that builds houses. And I got another friend who's a tradie who is also almost finished his apprenticeship, so he's going to be fully qualified electrician as well. But yeah, anytime I need to do any really big woodworking or other trade sort of stuff, I had my tradie friend around to help me build an enclosure for my 3D printer, and then I'll probably have him around again to help me build a desk at some point, because I really fucking want a new desk, and I want to build one to my own fucking specifications. But yeah, I don't know, I definitely do that as a hobby more so anyway. Angus Schultz, I don't know, it's one of those fucking foreign names, don't roast me for it, dude, says, do you have a Woolworths rewards card? No, I don't have any of those fucking rewards cards because they're honestly not worth my fucking time, and I don't give a shit. I also don't really shop at Woolworths, I'm more of a Coles boy. I don't know, I just prefer Coles over Woolworths, to be honest. Woolworths just seems to be a little bit more expensive, and honestly, I think Coles stocks better stuff anyway. Their bakery always seems to be fucking better. And also, a lot of the time, the reward system is flyby points, which I don't know if people in America have that, or any other sort of equivalent. Basically, it's a point system that you can use to claim on, flight tickets and whatnot. But I've flown like maybe a total of fucking 6 times in my life. And I didn't fucking pay for it. My parents did. It was, I just get like tacked on to a trip to go see like family around Australia or whatever the fuck. So, I mean, it's no fucking use to me. Persian Yank says, what is your least favorite food item? I.e. mine's onions. I don't know. There's majority of things that immediately come to mind. There's a lot of vegetables. Personally, I don't really eat any fruit or vegetables. I eat majoritarily sort of meat and bread and sort of carbs. Yeah, I mean, I can't fucking stand mushrooms. I fucking hate pickles. Lettuce can go eat shit. Eggplant can fucking die. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that is just I fucking can't stand, to be honest, and I just don't need them. And it's also real fucking weird because it's like, especially as a kid, we got drilled into our head the five fruit and 3 veg a day, which I don't think I've ever fucking done in my life. And I don't eat vegetables or fruit anymore, or really at all. And, I'm doing fucking fine. I've never been this fit in my fucking life. I've never been this strong in my life, so is what I think to that. Infomaniac asks, how many goons could a goon drink if a goon oh, fuck that up. How many goons could a goon drink if a goon drink... Trying to get me with the fucking tongue twister here, you little cunt. How many goons could a goon drink if a goon could drink a goon? I don't know. Whatever's the cheapest, usually, because that's the reason you're buying it. No one knows what that means except Australians. Bob Marley asks, can you dance? And if so, can we get a demonstration? Probably not, and also probably not at some point. Because if you're going to see me dance, I'm probably honestly just going to do the fucking Fortnite dance. But I've also never done that in my life, so I don't want to particularly embarrass myself and probably memify myself by fucking doing that shit. So I'm actually going to probably end it there, guys, for this week. It's sort of a shorter end of the episode. I mean, again, it's also fucking 20 to 11 at this point. Yeah, and this is going to go up in like 3 hours, and I don't know if I'm going to fucking... I'll probably meet it at this point. Who fucking knows? But, yeah. So if you have any other questions, queries, comments, whatever the fuck you want to send me, you can either email me at mrgreentext.com. Nope, that's not it. mrgreentext@gmail.com. I'm tired. Fucking eat shit. Also, if you do email me, literally tell me in the first line if you want to remain anonymous, because you fucking dumb cunts email me with your fucking emails that you use, and it has your real name attached to it. And if you don't say you want to remain anonymous, I'm going to read at least your fucking first name out loud so I know it's you. So yeah, tell me in the first line if you fucking email me. Oh, actually, did I have any emails? Let me double check. I think there might have been one. It might have been just someone going like, can you read this, please? Let me double check quickly. But yeah, you can either email me or just come on the community tab to go up next week. You know the fucking drill. Let's see. Login. I've got like fucking 7. Am I the only one that has like 5 Google accounts and there's always a fucking hassle to switch between? Let's see. Demonetized. Nope. Yeah, it's just people send... I don't know why people send me fucking green text through that email. That's literally the one thing that it just said no. Oh, I did have a fucking question. So this one's from Saint Beppis. See, this guy's smart. He emailed me from probably his burner account. And it just says, my history teacher is a brony. What do I do? So this is an interesting question because I didn't think brony still fucking existed at this point. And also, fucking history teacher. What the fuck? History teacher. This is also probably a month fucking later, dude. I probably opened this email and just totally fucking skipped over it. So, bit of a late response. I don't know if you're still listening, but in that case, History teacher's a brony. What the fuck? I've got so many questions, and email me again, dude. Because how old is your history teacher? Because it's how old is the history teacher? How the fuck did you find out that he was a brony? And I feel like there's got to be some stories to go along with this. Because you don't just drop, oh, my history teacher's a brony. It's like something fucking happened for you to find out. Did he, like, plug his laptop in the projector and his background was like My Little Pony or something like that? Did he fucking, spaghetti and drop his fucking pony out of his goddamn bag? I don't know. I'm sure this... I don't know. I need some more information, boy. So email me again, Mr. Saint Beppis, or whatever the fuck, it's gender neutral. We're including, I guess? I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'm calling it there. I already did all the other stuff, so secret phrase of this week, actually, yeah, I'll make it brony. So if you made it the whole way through this almost hour-long podcast, be sure to let me know by including the word brony somewhere in your comment. And I'll give it a little fucking heart so I know that you made it through, because you're real fan. Yeah, are you a brony? Do you know any bronies? Were you a brony at any point? Because I definitely know people that went through a fucking brony phase. Yeah. So do that, and I will catch you later, you bunch of cunts.